Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling like you just got played, but you couldn't quite put your finger on how? Like your brain's operating system was temporarily hijacked by a pro. Well, you're not crazy, you're just human. And humans come with some seriously exploitable glitches. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the shadowy world of mental manipulation. We're looking at the tactics used by master negotiators, cult leaders, and even that nice coworker who always gets their way. Welcome to Whale Facts. Fasten your seatbelts because we're about to dive into 7 psychological tricks that honestly feel like they should be illegal to use. Trick 1, the Benjamin Franklin effect. If you want someone to like you, your instinct is probably to do something nice for them, right? Buy them a coffee, compliment their shoes, or help them move a couch. Well, science says you're doing it backwards. If you want to win someone over, especially someone who isn't your biggest fan, you should actually ask them for a favor. This is known as the Benjamin Franklin effect. Old Ben once had a rival who didn't like him one bit. Instead of playing nice, Franklin asks to borrow a rare book from the man's library. After returning it with a thank you note, they became lifelong friends. Why? It's all thanks to something called cognitive dissonance. See, the human brain hates it when our actions don't match our beliefs. When your rival does you a favor, their brain goes into a tailspin. It thinks, wait, why am I helping this guy? I usually hate his guts, but I don't help people I hate, so I must actually like him. Their brain literally rewrites its own opinion of you to justify the kind act. It's a subtle, almost devious way to force someone's subconscious to become your ally. So next time you're facing a cold shoulder at the office, don't offer a donut. Ask to borrow a pen. You're not being a nuisance, you're hacking their heart. Trick 2, the door in the face. Imagine a kid asking their parents for a pet tiger. Obviously, the parents say no. Then the kid says, okay, fine, can we at least get a hamster? Suddenly, that hamster seems like a totally reasonable, almost bargain bin request. That is the door-in-the-face technique, and it is a masterpiece of manipulation. The trick relies on 2 psychological heavy hitters, the contrast principle and reciprocity. When you start with an intentionally outrageous request, something you know will be rejected, you set a high anchor. When you follow up with your actual, smaller request, it looks tiny in comparison. But here's the illegal part. The human brain views your second, smaller request as a concession. You've backed down, so now the other person feels a massive subconscious pressure to back down too. They feel like they owe you a yes because you were nice enough to lower your demands. It's why recruiters might offer you a low salary after mentioning a massive workload, or why sales reps show you the $5,000 watch before the $500 one. You aren't making a choice, you're following a script they wrote for you. Trick 3, the Zeigarnik effect. Have you ever wondered why you can remember every detail of a project you haven't finished, but completely forget the one you turned in yesterday? Or why you find yourself doom-scrolling TikTok at 2 a.m.? You're a victim of the Zeigarnik effect. Discovered by psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik after she noticed waiters could remember complex orders perfectly until the bill was paid, after which the info vanished. This trick is about open loops. Your brain creates a state of mental tension for any task that is incomplete. It's like an itch you can't scratch until the job is done. This is the secret weapon of Netflix cliffhangers and to-be-continued buttons. They aren't just being dramatic, they are literally hijacking your brain's need for closure to keep you watching. You can use this illegal hack on yourself, too. If you're procrastinating on a big essay, just write the first sentence and stop. Your brain will stay in tension mode, making it much easier to come back and finish later because it hates leaving that loop open. It's a way to trick your own laziness into working for you. Trick 4, anchoring bias. In the world of negotiation, the first person to mention a number usually wins. This is anchoring bias. Your brain has a tendency to rely far too heavily on the first piece of information it receives, the anchor, when making decisions. Think about it. When you see a shirt that says was $100 and now $40, your brain fixates on the $100. Even if that shirt is only worth $10, the $40 feels like a massive victory because it's anchored against that higher price. This is used everywhere from real estate to car dealerships. If a boss asks you what your salary expectations are and you say $80,000, that number becomes the center of the universe. Even if they negotiate you down to $75,000, you've likely still ended up higher than if they had started the offer at $60,000. It's an incredibly powerful way to shift someone's perception of value without changing the product at all. To avoid being a victim, always do your homework before you enter a room. Don't let their anchor become your reality. Trick 5. The pratfall effect. We all try to act perfect in job interviews or on first dates. We hide our stumbles, our awkwardness, and our spilled coffee. But according to the pratfall effect, being too perfect actually makes people like you less. Research shows that highly competent people who make a small mistake, like tripping or spilling a drink, are rated as significantly more attractive and likable than those who perform perfectly. Why? Because perfection is intimidating and unrelatable. When you show a small flaw, it humanizes you. It makes you one of us rather than a threatening robot. Look at Jennifer Lawrence. Her relatable brand was practically built on her tripping at the Oscars. It made the whole world fall in love with her. However, there's a catch. This only works if you are already perceived as competent. If you're already a mess and then you spill your coffee, you're just a mess. But if you're at the top of your game, don't be afraid to show a little vulnerability. It's the ultimate shortcut to building instant trust and rapport. Trick 6. The decoy effect. Have you ever been at the movies and noticed the popcorn prices? Small is $5, medium is $8.50, and large is $9. Most people look at that and think, wait, for only 50 cents more, I get the massive bucket? That's a steal. Congratulations, you've just been hit by the decoy effect. The medium size isn't actually there for you to buy it. It's there to act as a decoy to make the large look like an incredible bargain. Without that $8.50 option, you'd look at the $5 small and the $9 large and likely choose the small because $9 feels expensive for corn and air. But by adding a third, inferior choice that is priced suspiciously close to the most expensive one, marketers manipulate your brain into thinking it's making a smart, logical decision. This is called asymmetric dominance. They aren't forcing you to spend more money, they're just making you want to. This trick is used everywhere, from iPhone storage tiers to subscription packages. It's a psychological nudge that bypasses your spending pain and replaces it with the thrill of winning a deal. Next time you see 3 tiers of pricing, look for the decoy. It's usually the one that makes no sense to buy. Trick 7. Scarcity and social proof. Finally, we have the heavy hitters, scarcity and social proof. This is the engine behind every limited edition drop and every only one room left notification you see on travel sites. Humans are biologically hardwired for loss aversion. Evolutionarily speaking, losing a resource was much more dangerous than missing out on a gain. When something is scarce, our primal brain panics. It triggers FOMO, the fear of missing out, which effectively shuts down the logical part of your prefrontal cortex. This is often paired with social proof. If you see a bestseller tag or a crowd of people waiting in line, your brain assumes that everyone else knows something you don't. We have a herd mentality because for our ancestors, staying with the pack meant survival. Marketers manufacture this urgency to force you into a buy now, think later mindset. They make you feel like you're in a race, and in a race, you don't stop to ask if you actually need the product, you just run. It's a digital cattle prod for your wallet, leveraging your deepest survival instincts against your bank account. These psychological hacks are incredibly powerful, and in the wrong hands, they can be used to manipulate you without you ever realizing it. But now that the veil has been lifted, you're no longer just a puppet, you're the one who sees the strings. Use this knowledge ethically to communicate better and protect your own mind. If you want more deep dives into the hidden mechanics of the human brain, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Whale Facts.
See you in the next one.